welcome my Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your brand new series, a 7-card draw, waning moon, a shadow read. Yeah, my guides got me this morning and said, guess what you're doing for this full moon to new moon next on YouTube? I said, what? And here it is. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi. Yeah, Mercury's going retrograde. Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde. The shadow now is already stirring the fucking pot. So, just saying, that's why they're like, okay, so a waning moon read with all of that going on, and it's Mercury retrograde in Gemini, its ruling planet, so, you know, like, right? So, I get why they want to do this. I was like, really? You think YouTube's ready for a shadow work read? I mean, I do these for myself and for my students and my clients. So, we're going to do it a little bit differently, though, than what I do for them. We're going to do a 7-card draw. 1 card from 7 different decks. Let's see, we've got 2 tarot decks, 2 healing systems, and 3 oracles to get you clues, tips, and hints from my pantheons of the divine that you need for a specific timeline. This is not a timeless read. This is a very timeline read. We are looking at the full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, May 26th. 7:14 a.m. I believe Mercury goes retrograde on the 30th, the 29th to the 30th. I'll look that up for the next reading. And then we are looking at a waning moon, right? It's going to go boop, 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 right? Going to shrink down to the new moon in Gemini on Thursday, June 10th, 6:53 a.m. All times are Eastern. I am in New York. So getting these out a little ahead of time so that you guys have the clues, tips, and hints you need. Now, I will say, waning moon can be really, really tricky. It is about letting go. It's about releasing. It's about forgiving. Forgiveness and forgiving is what that was. And it is certainly about alchemy. From lead to gold, right? Lead having 3 more atoms than the element of gold on the periodic table, and that's what we're going to get into first. So it is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm working into, every time I do a video here, really not understanding why anybody does thumbs down on any tarot reader, considering they're general reads. It's either not your reading, which is fine, can't read everybody all the time, or you don't like what's there and it's the truth, right? So, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Standard YouTube reading rules apply. But aside from that, if you can keep both feet on the floor, if you can, you don't have to. It's helpful to stay here now and focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace from my pantheons of the divine. I'm done explaining. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, that feels nice. Yeah, one more. Just relax. Because I can already feel this energy coming in hot and heavy. So here we go. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. Just to get one here for the dominant archetype. You are alchemizing from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. Yeah, I'm getting a couple of downloads here. It's been a very busy day, so let's see what happens. Collective Pantheons of the Divine, speaking through the Caroline Myss archetype cards. This feels very, very spacey, ungrounded, so let's see what I can get you. Please take one more nice deep breath. There we go. And here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, general assembly, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension above, 8th chakra and above. What is the dominant archetype in play for this Aries collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign to alchemize from lead to gold, shadow to light over this next waning moon in full in Sagittarius, waning to new in Gemini, May into June 2021. The Hermit archetype, one of my favorites. Oh, I am the purple-haired Hermit Witch of Holbrook, Long Island. I'm thrilled to be so. I mean, yeah, often considered the Virgo card in the tarot, but we're going a little bit deeper than that. This is a wisdom family archetype. Caroline Myss has defined 9 different families. So the wisdom is obviously about mental power, but not only thought, much more about experience. So the shadow and the light, right? Here's the lead, here's the gold. I'm going to read you both. The shadow attribute withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, meaning their judgments on you, your judgments on them, refusing to help those in need. Now, as a hermit, I have never turned anyone away that is in need. I even feed the ferals in my condo development, and there's one chunky little black cat, but my boys won't have it. The light attribute, what you are shooting for here, and this is a 2-week period to work on this. The light attribute seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Just very wise to do. I live this way. But, if you don't see me on social media for a couple of days or on YouTube, I'm either working on something or I am just in total hermit mode. I'm a Virgo, right? So I totally claim that the Hermit Tarot card is the Virgo card, but this is of much broader scope. All right. So let's start clarifying that with the Healing with the Angels Oracle. What is the healing angel you need to work with? There's only one angel named by name here. That's Archangel Michael, which is the Archangel of Fire, and you are an Aries, a fire sign. So everything else is here by function. Let's see who you need to call on. Please take a nice deep breath. All right. My angels of fire and the sign of Aries. Yeah, there's some static on the channel here. I think I get why the Hermit is necessary here. You might have too much going on with some people in your life here, and so you really need to get clarity, and particularly to get your creative energy going. So please, Cardinal Fire, creative fire, yeah, Aries. So please, my angels of fire, and the sign of Aries, the Michaelites of the South, please. What's the angel they need to work with this full moon in Sag to new moon in Gemini? Listening, the healing angel of listening. Now that might very well be why the Hermit, to listen to something higher. At the same time, what would the healing angel of listening do? Teach you not just to hear, but how to listen. And it is often in stillness, right? Happens here all the time. Very, very quiet neighborhood. But if you hear something out of the normal, it's like I totally do the kitty cat thing. Totally still, right? So that Hermit, right? And I love this picture of the Hermit. See if I can get it closer. There we go. See it like inside their house, but they're filling up the whole space with their own creativity and expansion, and it's just a necessary thing. So this isn't just a timeout. Right? Hermitage is not just, I'm going to take a break. Everybody needs rest. Everybody needs to get away. Everybody needs time out. Hermit's different. It's really about activating the wisdom. So this might very well be about you healing to hear from your angels, from your guides, from your higher powers, as well as to also know that you are being heard, that they are listening to you in your prayer, in your contemplation, in your spiritual practice, whatever that may be. Neat. Now, since this is about shadow work, right, we're really looking at the withdrawal from society out of fear of negative judgment of others, right, refusing to help those in need, calling in the healing angel of listening to help you with that, maybe to listen to those shadow voices, which are more about conditioning, right, social conditioning, family conditioning, just wounds you've picked up along the way. They're not inherent to who you truly are in your soul. So we're going to get you a crystal oracle message here to help you ground it, right? To help give you a touchstone. Maybe I should put these in. I think I will put these in the description box. A video I did called Remembering Grace. It's in support of my book, Words of Grace. Because, someone asked me a question and I made a video about the answer. Like, how do you remember all these prayers? And it's about touchstones and jewelry. Yeah. So, let's see. Breathe, please. Both feet on the floor. As I call to my beloved Archangel Ariel of my own personal lineage, Archangel Ariel of the North, powers of Earth, the Archangel of Lyons, hence Archangel of Lyons. What is the perfect crystal oracle for this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun? Watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the Hermit archetype with the healing angel of listening from this full moon in Sagittarius, waning to new in Gemini. Ooh. Ooh, I haven't seen this for a while. Green selenite, said selenite green, to keep it alphabetical for the book. And I love selenite. I mean, look, I just picked up this deck of cards from this. They're holsters. They purify them. The only two crystals that I know of that don't need purifying are selenite and citrine. And a big slab of citrine I can't find, but slabs of selenite work. So I love selenite. I don't have any green selenite, but I know the properties of green selenite in this book. So, of clear selenite in this book. So I'm interested. It kind of looks like apophyllite to me. I used to be in the gem and mineral business, New Age retail and all that. We're getting there. Selenite green, your key words. Healing, good, right? Tranquil pleasures. I'll have what he's having. Daydreams and imaginings. Okay, so it's more of that side of the selenite. Life is a river of dreams. Simply relax and enjoy the journey. Well, personally, for me, life is a highway, and I want to ride it all night long. I want to potty till my panties fall off. Over the coming days, you will find yourself daydreaming, envisaging your life as you would truly love it to be. And underline that word love, right? And that's why this thing of, it may seem like your intuition and your daydreaming, but you're actually hearing your guides. They're influencing you through daydreams. Happens all the time. I mean, Galileo, right? The Newton's apple, the original scientist, not the TV show, although maybe that too. Your thoughts are bathed in the tranquil pleasures of love, romance, and ideal relationships, yet those imaginings are not fantasy. Rather, they are glimpses of the future. You are entering a time of great joy, creativity, and tranquility. This time your dreams and wishes really do come true. Well, keep an open heart and mind, and above all, trust in the magical and healing power of love to transform your life. A period of great joy and happiness is just around the corner, right? So this is probably more about listening to those voices inside of you, of the shadow, right? Giving them the voice, the love that they need, love being your healer here. I mean, I really liked those key words here for you. Healing, which is great. Tranquil pleasures, daydreams, and imaginings. This is a very visionary stone in that way, which selenite can be as an 8th chakra stone. At least that's how I work it. So while you're visualizing and daydreaming, you might be getting some clairaudient stuff coming on here, but you need zero distractions for that with that Hermit. So this feels good. It's actually saying if you're feeling really isolated and judgy of the outside world, it's fine. But to alchemize that, really go into prayer, meditation, visualize, right? Those tranquil pleasures for your own healing. Lovely. All right, 4 more to go, right? We've got 1 healing system, Carolyn May's 2 oracles, Healing with the Angels and the Crystal Oracle. Let's get some tarot on the table. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, please take a nice deep breath. My goddesses of fire. And the sign of Aries. I need 1 card in clarity for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading with the Hermit archetype, the Healing Angel of Listening, and green selenite. What is going on with them that they need to be aware of? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, their internal world, their creative intuition, their personal level of power, their emotional power, willpower, mental power, and that touch of spiritual power in the crown chakra. With the Hermit listening and green selenite, this full moon in Sag waning to new in Gemini. Oh, right. Yay. 5 of Pentacles, earthquake. So there is something shook inside of you now, so I want you to think. Heart, third eye, crown. Certainly upset, but it's something visceral, if Pentacles, right? This isn't the 5 of Cups. That would be purely emotional. This might really be something where you are shook inside. We're going to look with the next deck what's going on the outside. And I don't like so much tarot code words that I hear over and over and over again, but maybe you're feeling left out in the cold. Very traditional thing with the 5 of Pentacles. They flash the Rider-Waite version in my third eye. I'm like, oh, that's what that means. So feeling a little locked out, but yet you have the Hermit. This might be an opportunity for you to really deal with whatever turbulence is going on inside of you. Had this card pop up with a client the other day. And he knew the answers to the questions. I said, well, how long does an earthquake last? He says, oh, maybe 5 seconds. He's absolutely right. But depending on the Richter scale, those 5 seconds can kill thousands of people, right? So very, very fast change. And certainly that can happen inside of us if we have been left out in the cold, if someone has ghosted us or blah, 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 right? So however you want to cope with that, because it might be that you've ghosted somebody else, right? Or you just kind of cut people off going into your own domain, which to me is always a wise thing. And I have this little personal boundary that I've developed over the years. If someone is truly willing to heal, to grow, to learn, to become the best that they can be and fulfill their role in the divine plan, I will do everything in my power to help and serve them. Though I am not the be-all, end-all, it's everything in my power. That's not everything. But toxic, unapologetic toxicity, I'm out. I'm out. I will walk the fuck away in the blink of an eye. But then again, I am a Virgo. We were born with our legs crossed. What does this look like on the outside? Please breathe. Yeah. My gods of fire and the sign of Aries. One card in clarity for the Aries collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. Alchemizing the Hermit with the healing angels of listening. Green selenite. And dealing with an earthquake. 5 of Pentacles earthquake inside of themselves. What does this look like on the outside? Either from the outside looking in or some aspect of the physical root, sacrum, solar plexus chakra dynamic. This full moon in Sagittarius waxing to new, lovely, in, hey, come here. Gemini, you got the Sun, the Apollo card. So look, it might be that this shakeup actually has to do with something really, really lovely, really, really happy. In other words, when we are in hermitage, and I think they could have done this with the Tower card, but I wouldn't have interpreted it the same way, right? Because the feeling on this is like sunlight comes in and it shakes you up. But we all know that the Sun card is like the happiest card in the deck. And actually that's from a video called The Mysteries of the Tarot, narrated by Christopher Lee. They interview a bunch of tarot card readers. This is back from the 90s. You can find it on YouTube. So of course with the Hermit, right, you might be feeling a little isolated, but hey, the sun is shining, particularly where I am today. It's 80 degrees outside in Long Island. But it might also bring you some clarity, right? Listening, right? And daydreaming, and this kind of, Apollo is also the god of prophecy, clairvoyance, right? Things being brought out clearly in sunlight. While you're doing that, this could be lovely. This could be a very mystical experience, actually, or at least one that cultivates greater wisdom in you. Guess what? We only got 2 more cards left. Can you believe? I wouldn't call this a quickie. For me, it's never a quickie. Always a longie. Name the movie if you know it. And who said that in the movie. And if you know the name of the actor, what? You win nothing. Let's get you healing mantra deck. Card Matt Kahn, right? To help you heal, right? And you've already got that healing reference in the green selenite. There's a lot of mental stuff here with this visualizing and whatnot. And I get that, air and fire, that does make sense. You're a fire sign. This is sort of more of the air. Though I don't often see selenite as a stone that way, but that listening is also element of air. So let's have a look-see-dook-see. Please take a nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters, General Assembly, please. 1 card in clarity for the Aries Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and the Sun watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, what is their perfect healing mantra? With this alchemist, with the alchemy of the Hermit going on within them, listening to the healing angels of listening that they're going to call in, working with green selenite or something similar, earthquake on the inner, the sun on the outer. What's their healing mantra to deal with this, to help them heal? This full moon in Sagittarius, waning to new in Gemini. Unraveling codependency. Only I need to feel good about my choices. Thank you very much. The thank you very much is my editorial on that. How did I not need to look at the back of the cards? Because this one. I would rather be nibbled by rats than be in another codependent relationship, situation, anything like that. It's just as toxic, or abuse, neglect, or loss, right? Those wounds. Oh, please. Just another form of addiction. No thanks. Hard left. Swipe left. Unraveling codependency. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And that, you know, I read this for a Capricorn once. He said, well, what's going to stop me from burning down the village? I go, well, that doesn't feel good. It might feel relieving some of your pain, but it doesn't feel good, right? And this is a really big one. People don't realize how deadly codependence actually is. And originally the term came about dealing with alcoholics and drug addicts, but now it's like it's morphed into a common family pattern going back thousands of years, thousands and thousands of years. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Unraveling codependency. When codependency unravels, you are able to move freely in the direction of your heart's desire without needing permission from others. That's called freedom, darling. So the opposite of that would be enslavement, which is really what codependence is. As codependency fades, you are able to honor the emotional reactions of others as crucial stages of their healing journey without taking responsibility for them. This mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics, cultivating emotional freedom, and reclaiming personal power. I could totally get you're pulling back from toxic people in your life. Look, you could study codependency forever. That doesn't mean you necessarily are going to heal it just by mentally understanding it. It's very throat chakra. So let's say you're in a relationship with somebody, and it doesn't have to be romantic. I'm not getting that here necessarily. One more card left, Whispers of Love. That can be the party turner. All of a sudden you're in a soulmate thing. But let's say, you know, you're in this relationship, and it is what it is, regardless of the form. And then you get an opportunity to move to the other side of the country, whatever country you're in, a place that you would really love to go and settle, but they can't go. So what do you do? Right? Your heart is telling you, fulfill your destiny, take this, and they're like, but I'll die without you. And you go, okay, I'll stay. Womp womp, weep womp. Right? Well, what happens is you end up resenting them, and it gets toxicer, more toxic, and more toxic, and more toxic. I expect my spirit guides to have good grammar. Thank you. I'm such a witch. So look, this is a really powerful mantra to do while visualizing. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And understand, it's not that ego, like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. It's that, no, when it comes to my heart's desires, only I have to feel good about my choices. As I have said to people plenty of times, excuse me, as much as I love you and I'm here to serve, I didn't incarnate for you. Right? It's like my soul was chosen to play this role for me, and as I heal, all are healing, unity, consciousness, blah, blah, blah. Very powerful. And think of it, if you're healing this, unraveling codependency within your own energy field, imagine what you're doing for everybody else on planet Earth, particularly with the strong vibe of the sun. I mean, Apollo, god of prophecy, god of clairvoyance, god of the arts, and certainly a god of healing, but in his shadow, he's a god of plague. Maybe he had a hand in all of this, right? To make us what? Lock down and look within and unravel codependency. See, I live alone, and I wouldn't call my relationship with my three little black kitty cats, my boys, Sabby, Belzy, Melky, Sebastian, Balthazar, and Melchior. I would call that codependent. I would say completely dependent, because they don't have thumbs and they can't scoop their own litter pan, and I would be dead without them. That's the kind of love we have, right? So last card down. Let's see. I'll cross your fingers. Here we go. I love this deck. Whispers of Love Oracle. The voices of the higher selves. 5th dimension and above. 8th chakra and above. Last card down. Please take a nice deep breath. Higher selves of all involved for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Watching this video, receiving this reading. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the piece of information, inspiration, or insight this lovely, darling Aries viewer of mine needs in tandem with this Hermit listening? Selenite green, not to be confused with Soylent, selenite green. It's people. 5 of Pentacles on the inner, the Sun on the outer, unraveling codependency, because only I have to feel good about my choices this new moon. Sorry, full moon in Sagittarius, waxing to new in Gem. Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. I get it. I get it. There has probably been in the past year or so for a lot of us. For those of you who are living with others and trying to get away from them, right? Because of certain physical limitations on planet Earth, it's loosening up now for sure, and maybe that's the thing. You got away. Or you wanna. And if you have people who toxically invade your boundaries, right? You say, look, I just need a half hour to go lay down and like 10 minutes in. Is it time up? It's different with kids. I'm not talking babies. I'm not talking little kids. I'm talking adults here. And so it might be so loud around you that you really need to call to the healing angel of listening to say, hey, help me hear this, right? And look, if you can't find green selenite, I really think it's the same thing as apophyllite. I'm not sure. Still, can run, yeah. Apophyllite ain't cheap. Get a clear quartz. It's fine. That's the white candle of crystal magic, right? You can anoint it with an oil, whatever you want to do. And really go into prayer on this. Go into your hermit time. Heal, because you're shook. You're shook. I get that, right? And perhaps you are leaving people out in the cold, or maybe they took off and left you out in the cold. But there is healing and clarity for you here. There is really a sense of clarity and healing. The happiness part of it, I don't know about now because of that unraveling codependence, but unless that's really saying that only I have to feel good about my choices, and I may be shook by what's going on, but then again, maybe that earthquake is, you finally get it, and something really changes inside of you viscerally. In other words, just not a new thought or a new feeling, but it's like your whole body, your whole nervous system feels it and relaxes. It's like, oh, only I have to feel good about my choices. And that's Apollo giving you the sunlight, the clarity, the truth, so that you can then focus on love, right? Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life, and particularly with family, you know, when they're up in your face like this, to pull back so that you can see the larger picture and remember more than just what's going on this past year and 3 or 4 months. You with me? Let me put it together in a blessing for you, and we are done. Please take a nice deep breath. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, may the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need this full moon in Sagittarius, waxing to new in Gemini, that they may unravel codependency, really embracing that only they have to feel good about their choices, while they take some hermit time, alchemizing, withdrawing from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, probably people they're living with, and moving that into seeking solitude to focus intently on inner life, serving personal creativity, because what's going on in their inner life, my pantheons of the divine? An earthquake. They are shook, for good or ill, right? Whether it feels good in that, oh my God, everything's changing, or really, really, really viscerally shook. May that sunlight of Apollo, the card of the sun, really illuminate, help heal that. Certainly with the green selenite, that imagination, that visualization, that daydreaming, that healing, that blissful, pleasurable vibe, invoking that within themselves so that they can really hear the healing angel of listening that they call upon. And then, of course, they would be able to more easily focus on love, looking for the good attributes in each and every person in their life, waning their pain, alchemizing their lead to gold, healing probably their family dynamics, known or unknown, for their well-being and for the well-being of all. Well, so mote it be. And so it is. That was pretty cool. Very, very simple read. I've been getting a lot of puzzle piece readings that way. They all just kind of click into place, but, you know, do something for 40 years. Yeah, I started tarot when I was 12. I'm 52. Yes, I know. I don't. Look at, thank you. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed, right? You want to check out my book, Words of Grace, check out the links and all that shit. But otherwise, lovely, lovely read. You do you, right? You've got the permission. Mark Angelo Lyons, mouth for short, says so. I have to do hermit time. Hermit time. Ridiculous. Wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed of this full moon in Sagittarius, waning to new in Gemini, Mercury retrograde and all. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.